What's going on, everybody in the VC? Craig here with another vinyl update. Not a whole bunch to show here, but some cool recent finds, some VCLT, and some CCLT that I forgot to show that I got not too long ago. So, first things first, usual VC cheer. Hope everybody's doing great out there. Got some like fall weather going on here. Fucking July, dude. I don't know what's going on. I'm so convinced now that it's fall that I started singing Christmas tunes in my head, and I don't know why the hell that was happening. Freaked me out. But summer weather will come back and we'll be all good. Oh, what's on in the background? Walkabout by The Fix. This is such a killer album. It's really become one of my favorite Fix albums recently. And the reason being is that I went with my dad to go see The Fix and Wang Chung this past Friday in St. Charles, Illinois at the Arcada Theater. Now, for anybody out there who's watching this and right away thinking, Wang Chung, The Fix? Dude, really? You got some sort of fucking 80s revival? Like, the hell's the matter with you? Turn that shit off right now and totally switch your mind. Because guess what? Both bands still put out solid material and kick major ass live. Now, I've never been a huge Wang Chung fan, like, oh my god, their albums are amazing, you know, I fucking love them. I've always been a fan, like the singles, and I grew up with the album Points on the Curve, because my dad had it, and I bought it on CD, so on and so forth. So I've always been a fan, and thought they were good. You know, 80s good, you know. Good band, you know, kind of fell off the map, no big deal. You know, memorable. When I saw them, we sat front row. We were like about just a few seats off center. Not too bad. Really small theater, by the way. If you get a chance to catch a show at the Arcada, do it. Really intimate venue, not a lot of seating. It's an older theater that, you know, has been done up. You know, not too modernized, small PA, but I mean, it's not a huge theater, so you don't need to be fucking Black Sabbath blown away. And each side, I thought it was really cool. It had screens on each side of the walls. And it almost seemed a little unnecessary, because it's such a small place, and even if you're sitting in the balcony, you're still got a good spot. Sight lines are great, and the sound is really full, but you know, whatever. Getting back to the bands. Did not really have too high of expectations for Wang Chung. I'd got their set lists over the last few weeks. Like, okay, prepare myself what I'm gonna hear, a couple of tunes I didn't know, so I'm like, must have a new album or something. And they did, and whoo! Sounded so good, and I'm telling you right now, they can rip. I mean, solid guitar playing, great pop hooks, and the new material, if you get a chance, check out their new album, Taser Up. I believe it came out late last year. Great album. Great album. I wish I would have picked it up at the show, but, you know, not a lot of people were buying Wang Chung stuff when we first all got into the theater. Everybody was buying up Fix stuff, which my dad and I did. Both bought t-shirts, and et cetera, et cetera. But nobody was really buying anything Wang Chung. As soon as their set got done, I shit you not, that merch table was flooded of people buying Wang Chung stuff. New CD, the t-shirt, everything. I mean, that's, you know, and there weren't a lot of people who, you know, seemed to be, you know, big into them, and they're like, yay, we're gonna hear everybody had fun tonight, yay. No, like, these people became instant fans. Great set. Totally killer musicianship. I'm definitely converted over into I'm now a Wang Chung fan. Definitely check out the new album. Great stuff. Great stuff. Now onto The Fix. Now the one thing that always kind of threw me about The Fix, and I love them for this, but I also kind of like, oh man, this kind of sucks. New album. Great new album. Beautiful Friction. If you get a chance, pick it up. It's out on vinyl. Relatively cheap. Under 15 bucks. If you're a fan, definitely pick it up. I don't have it on vinyl, but I'm a cheap bastard. Like I said, the one thing that kind of irks me even though the new album's great, they played like 7 songs from the new album, and the set list had 18 songs in total, which, I mean, 7 out of 18, not bad, but at the same time, that's almost half the set list, and there's so many other songs that you want to hear. And me personally, and my dad also, were both huge Fix fans. He saw them on the Phantoms tour in '84 here in town, and totally ripped. Great show. One of his favorite shows of all time. But even then, looking at the set list back then and some of the things I've seen, they definitely really played the new album. When they've got a new, new product, they're pushing the product. And you know what? I can't complain, because I really got involved in this new album, and it sounds really good, and live, whoa, fucking killer. And you know what? The one thing I do love about the Fix is that they're playing some more random tunes. They're not playing all the big single stuff. I mean, yes, they're playing One Thing Leads to Another, Red Skies, but they're, not just heavily relying on all the singles, They're playing more album tracks and different stuff, like Built for the Future that you hear in the background. That was one of the songs. And I've never really been a huge fan of that song. I just never really delved into that part, like Walkabout. Never really got that big into the album. Always been a huge fan of Phantoms and Reach the Beach and Shuttered Room. Those are always my favorite Fix albums. Now I'm converted to Walkabout. Like, this album fucking rips. And hearing songs like Built for the Future, and they played Treasure It off of this album as well. Just killer. Killer set list. Great show. We were right up front, literally right in front of Rupert the entire time. His keyboard playing solid. Adam's drumming still spot on and great. Even now he's playing just a sparse 4-piece kit. Still killer. Awesome. Jamie, always great on his guitar playing. Really good with those textures. Not an overplayer, but still has some chops. Like even some of the new material requiring a little bit more guitar playing and stuff. Definitely got some major chops. Dan still standing perfectly still the entire time, just playing his bass. Fucking love him. And Cy Curnin, one of my favorite frontmen. Great vocals, still to this day. Great stage performance, spot on, love him to death. So definitely, I think the Fix are one of those bands that they get forgotten in the 80s lists when we talk about alternative music, artsy music, stuff like that. They kind of get just lumped into the one-hit wonder sort of pop game, but we kind of forget that, they had some really good albums and were doing something that was, there was a lot of bands that were doing different stuff at those particular times, but the Fix still had something just different about them. And I guess the one thing that I do love is that not everybody's all over them, so it's still kind of got this sort of underground feel. That's why I love them. So once again, just kind of recapping the show. Great night, great venue, great set lists, good times. Always nice to go to a show and be with an older crowd, and it's not going to get rowdy or anything else. Can't complain. My dog is insane. But great night. And also, the one thing I kind of noticed about going to a show where there's primarily people that are in their late 30s into their early 50s, they're not that durable. They don't stand up very long. I mean, my dad and I look back at one point. My dad's 49. And we look back at one point, and we were the only 2 people standing in that theater at one point. And I think it was while the Fix was on, and we stood the entire night. And there were people that are kind of up and down. They got up kind of at first when they first came on, and then sat back down and just stayed seated until they played One Thing Leads to Another, which was like 8 songs into the set. And all of a sudden, hey! We're like, dude, this is probably the only time we're gonna get to see the Fix ever again. We're standing the entire time. Plus, we're front row. How many times is that gonna happen? But still, great night. Got to do some crate digging before the show, so I'll show those, and we'll just kind of get into everything. First things first, some CCLT that I forgot to show in my last video. My brother LJ, my big brother, sent me another package of sleeves, the last of the sleeves that he had, and threw in some cassettes as well. I knew one of them that was coming, I didn't know the other one, so the one that I knew that he asked me about if I had was Smash by The Offspring. Now, this album from 1993, soundtrack for me of the mid-90s. Like, I beat the hell out of this album on CD. And I think we got it. My dad bought it in early 1995, so it had been out for a while. I think it was 93 that came out, right? 94. Okay, correct me. 94. It's confusing with a different album, but 1994. I got turned on to them in late 94, and after that, converted. Still their best album in the catalog, in my opinion. Didn't get any better than this. So, The Offspring that everybody knows, you know, for Pretty Fly for a White Guy, songs beyond that, fuck that. That is not The Offspring. Smash and before, well, we'll include Ixnay and the Hombre, the album that came after Smash. That's The Offspring I grew up with and loved the most. Their new material is really good too, but there was a good section of about 8 to 10 years. You're going, what the fuck happened? Now, the surprise cassette, The Dark by Metal Church. Fuck yeah. This major addition to the Metal collection, and this is a killer album. Front to back, great Metal Church. Love them. Oh yeah. Got this one on CD, played it to death. Got it on cassette, and I'm gonna play it to death. Come on, I dare you to throw on the song Ton of Bricks and not wanting to start fucking headbanging and moshing around your living room. Oh yeah. Alright, so on to the VCLT that I got. Big shout out to my brother, Jeff Ortiz. Man, he knows how to surprise a guy sometimes. He's always managed to surprise me with something. And he hit me up on Facebook a few weeks ago and was like, hey, you're going backwards. He had posted this album and we were kind of talking about it. I'm like, man, I'm still looking for a particular pressing of this album. Hopefully I can find it. You know, keep your eyes peeled for me and let me know. So no big deal. He hits me up. I want to say maybe a week or two later. It's like, hey, are you still looking for this album? I'm like, yeah, I'm still looking for it. I haven't really found anything. Never got a response back. I'm like, no idea whether, I'm like, well, did he find it? Or is he just kind of like, oh, well, you found it? You know, just trying to keep me updated or something. I don't know. But found this on my doorstep, not this past Saturday, but the Saturday before. And, whew, guess who was a happy man? Skylarking by XTC. Oh, the particular pressing I've been looking for was the pressing with Dear God on it, because that was the song that I was introduced to XTC, the song that introduced me to XTC. So, beautiful copy. Super stoked to have it. So, thank you, Jeff. I've already thanked you a bunch of times on Facebook, so just had to thank you again on the video. So, love this album. Another great addition to the XTC collection. Very happy. Alright, so that's that. I have gotten a few things off of eBay, but kind of saved some other stuff for the next update. We'll see. But I do have one here. Killer steel, man. Like, I couldn't believe I got it for this cheap. So, huge fan of the band. Been trying to slowly collect their albums one by one. Kind of hard to find their stuff around here. You really don't see it. And even on eBay, some of the prices get kind of sketchy unless you find something and get pretty lucky. Well, anyway, I had been watching copies of this album for a while and, you know, figured, okay, I've seen some of the 180 gram reissues go for pretty reasonable prices. Maybe I'll pick one of those up. Found an OG. I'm like, okay, well, we'll watch it, see where it goes. And the starting price was a penny. So I'm like, okay, you know, I can almost guarantee this thing's gonna shoot up past the point of what I want to spend, even including shipping. I'm like, fuck it now. But I decided to watch it, and it was gonna end when I was at home. So, okay, cool. Watch it till the very last second, threw a really low bid in. I mean, like, the most I would want to pay for this. And given the condition of the cover was a little sketchy, but the vinyl was near mint. I'm like, well, we'll see where it goes. Price for the shipping, $4. Price for the album, 60 cents. Copy of A Broken Frame by Depeche Mode. The cover's got a little wear to the spine and some creases on the cover, but when I pull out the vinyl, unplayed. I mean, brand spanking new. I could not fucking believe it. So for $4.60, a nice copy of A Broken Frame. And this is a great album, by the way. I love early Depeche Mode. Personally, the Depeche Mode I love is more the mid-'80s stuff, going into the later 80s, into Violator and so on. So the early stuff is good, but not my particular favorite stuff. So still really happy, glad to have it on vinyl, slowly working to get all the Depeche Mode on vinyl. It's going to take time, but totally worth it. So on to my crate digging that I did before the Fix and Wang Chung show. My dad and I decided to stop into Oak Park Records, which is right off of the main street in Oak Park. Really familiar with the area just because I had my mom's side of the family. They're all from Chicago and the suburbs and stuff like that, so I had family that lived in Oak Park. So I vaguely remembered the area from when I was a kid. And my dad knew the area really well because he used to go out there all the time when he was, obviously dating my mom and then married my mom. They used to go out there and visit family all the time, so it was really kind of a nice little walk down memory lane type of thing. But I kind of chose the record store because it was right off of the route we were taking, so I figured, okay, really easy to find, no big deal. And I gotta say, my review of the store, top notch. If you are anywhere near the Oak Park area, check out Oak Park Records. Great selection of rock, 60s, 70s, 80s rock, pop stuff. Nice little section of jazz, R&B, soul, a little bit of reggae, a little bit of hip hop, which I mean is not my big thing, so it didn't bother me. Small section of metal and hard rock, comedy, country, easy listening folk. I mean, they had it all kind of spread out, and it's a really small store too. So, I mean, I could only imagine what that would be like packed. I mean, just terrible. I mean, I was tripping over my own dad. We were the only two people in there for a while. So, that part kind of sucks, but the prices, great prices, way better than I see shit priced around here. I mean, I honestly could have walked out of there spending easy $100 and found tons of stuff. I mean, they had a great selection of bargain bin stuff, dollar stuff. I didn't get a chance to look, but they had a ton of 12-inch singles and stuff like that. So, very, very satisfied with what I did pick up. And my dad ended up buying my records for me. It was only like $23, but I didn't expect him to do it. I told him right off the bat, I'm like, dude, you don't have to buy them. And he's like, his response, dude, I started this addiction. The least I can do is kind of feed it every once in a while. True. Not going to argue with that. But managed to get some killer finds. Totally makes up for what I didn't buy, which there were plenty of stuff, plenty of albums I could have walked out of there buying, and I do have a little buyer's regret that I didn't pick up some of the stuff, but still really happy. So let's go through the dollar finds here. We're just gonna rifle through them pretty quickly here. What the hell? The one fun part about having pets. Occasionally you get some animal fur. Nice near mint copy of No Fun Allowed by Glenn Frey. Gold stamp promo, and it does say for promotional use only on the label. It's the same. It's still the same custom label that are on all the other pressings, but it actually says it on the label, promo. So very, very cool. Not a great album. Not particularly my favorite, but I've seen it a ton of times, but it's usually pretty beat up. So I figure for $1 near mint, yeah, might as well add it to the collection. Another one I see fairly often, but usually pretty beat up. Molly Hatchet, self-titled. Very glad to find that. More of the Monkees, nice stereo pressing. I have a mono copy, but that one's just beat to hell. So, found this, nice copy actually, which was crazy. They had another copy. I don't know whether it was a stereo or mono though they had up, and it was priced like $8. So I find this for $1 and in pretty decent shape. Figured, you know what? Now why the hell not? Really happy to find this one. Laura Nero. Eli and the 13th Confession. Fucking drew a blank. I've been really looking for this one ever since I saw the American Masters documentary on David Geffen. So really kind of brought Laura Nero to my attention. So very, very glad to find a copy of that. Brother LJ, if you're watching this, you know you'll be digging this. Michael Stanley Band, Stage Pass. It's a 2 LP set from 1978, 77. God, I am really off on my years tonight, man. I'm a retard. 1978, double live album. And on that note, let's flip this one over. God, you guys are getting two sides tonight. Oof, don't you feel honored? As you should. You're hanging out with the Rambler. But on to Michael Stanley Band, Stage Pass, 1977, double LP, live album. Great live album. I've seen pictures of this before on the internet, but I've never seen one in the wild. So to find one for $1 in beautiful shape, oh yeah. Well recorded, great, late 70s, you know, just your typical kind of Midwest hard rock stuff. Really, really good if you're into that type of shit. And if you're into, you know, some good cleavage. My fiance noticed that. She's like, wow, that's some great cleavage. Yeah, I know. That wasn't the selling point. I didn't even pay attention to that. I swear. And the last one, one that I've had on cassette for a long time, but never really see it on vinyl too often around here. And they had, this was one of 3 copies that they had. One was $2.99, one was $1.99, and one was 99 cents. You know which one I picked up, 99 cents. The Honey Drippers, Volume 1. Great 50s era, you know, Robert Plant at the front. Great tunes, you know, and why me being such a big Zeppelin fan and not having it on vinyl, I don't know. I just, you know, I see it, but then I don't see it around here, and then usually when I do see it, it's a little more beat up. This is a nice copy, so for $1, glad to finally have it on vinyl. Alright, on to the few that were normally priced albums, but nothing was over, I think nothing was over like $4 or $5 at the most. First one up, one that's been on my wish list for a long time, I'm glad to find it. B-52's self-titled. Beautiful copy of this. Great album. God. Oh. You know, and the one thing that kind of threw me was I looked at their section for B-52s and they had a bunch of other albums. You know, a few already had and some I've been on the hunt for, but I was really dead set on finding this and I was kind of pissed. And then I was flipping through all the new arrivals and then I found it in the new arrivals. Oof. It was like calling my name. So very glad to have that. A couple from the metal and hard rock section. Mean Streak by Y&T. This is one I've been really hunting for the Y&T collection. Don't really have a lot of Y&T. I think it's only my second Y&T album on vinyl, but you know, not that hard to find them around here. Well, not that hard to find in general, I should say. I do see Y&T pop up, but this is one that I don't see pop up, and I love the song Mean Streak. So very glad to have that. Maggie. I was just talking about this one with you. Except Restless and Wild. Glad to find this for a few bucks. Finally a trifecta completer. Had this one on CD for a couple of years and cassette for about the same. So glad to finally have it on vinyl. And they had a bunch of other really cool kind of like mid-80s hard rock and, you know, pre-hair metal stuff. But, you know, like I said, I couldn't break the bank. You know, really strict budget. And I don't even want to, you know, if I would have known my dad was buying my vinyl, I still wouldn't have tried to break the bank because, you know, I'm not a dick. I may be, you know, a bit of a, you know, brat, but I'm not a dick. Alright, and one from the synth pop section, Please, by the Pet Shop Boys. Very glad to find this. I've been hunting for this one for a long time. Most notable tracks off of here, West End Girls and Opportunities, but it's a great synth pop album. I think Travis, I think you picked this up recently, if I remember correctly. Hope I'm remembering correctly, but yes, Pet Shop Boys. So on that note, that does it for all the finds. Got a couple of eBay things coming, some recent purchases. I know I got some VCLT coming. I pretty much know everything that's in it, so, but still, really, really excited. You guys are gonna flip. I know I am. And some other, just kind of stuff kind of waiting in the wings. Trying to really reel it back in with the buys. Even though I still managed to spend money. I'm trying not to, but, we'll see. Maybe a vinyl challenge we will actually do this time. Make it creative, and I'll actually, really start my video series and maybe start doing some artist collection request videos. We'll see. I'll make an announcement if I want to do that or not. We'll see. But anyway, thank you to all of my subscribers. Slowly building up here, Get one, lose one, no big deal. Just great to have everybody aboard. Really appreciative. Can't thank you guys enough. Love the vinyl community. Love all you guys. So, until next time, hope everybody stays cool. I know it's cool outside, but if it's hot where you're at, hope the AC is running and the tunes are cranking. So, see you guys in the next video. Peace.